Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Travels with Dottie. Yes, it's the 31st, the last day of July 2025, and I'm headed into town for two purposes. One is I'm going to stop by. I need to go to the library, print some stuff out, sign it, scan it, email it, and then I'm going to go to the park and I'm going to record a video on comments I've been getting recently. So that'll be a lot of fun. It'll cover a lot of topics, a lot of subjects um, that that you might really be interested in. And I wanted to pick the park setting for that instead of just doing it sitting in my trailer, which gets to be kind of boring. I want to give a shout out to the commenter today that said, Rob, this is in reference to a comment you made in a prior video. Bicyclists are not required to stop at stop signs in the state of New Mexico. That was news to me, and it turns out it's absolutely true. I looked it up, and you can too. So if you see, you can treat as a bicycle, you can treat a stop sign as a yield sign. You don't have to stop. Why is that a thing for me? Because every time I don't come to a complete stop and put my feet down, someone in the comments calls me a scofflaw, a lawbreaker, a criminal. And so I've been like studiously coming to a complete stop at every stop sign, no matter how remote and how quiet the street is. And it turns out I don't have to. Thank you for that. Really. So we're about to go by my second home here, the museum and visitor center here in Eagle Nest. I had noticed that Quartzsite, where I spend the winter, was looking for someone to man they were actually looking for couples because the deal is that they're looking for a couple to man the Quartzsite Museum for the season, and in exchange, they apparently have a full hookup site there that they'll give you plus a stipend, which is an amazing deal. But obviously they're looking for couples because there's a lot of hours to cover. So that's not something that I would be willing to do. But almost exciting opportunity for somebody. I don't know whether that's been filled yet or not. I imagine so. It's a no-brainer for someone that loves Quartzsite and wants to work camp. I would think they filled that within a day. Kalija is how to pronounce the little restaurant here, Kalija. It took me a while to get the hang of how to pronounce that. So we're going to go down here past the familiar fire station, and we're going to go around the corner here, and we're going to find the library right between EMS, the fire station, and I think the senior center. And here we are. We have arrived. I will be right back. All right, we took care of our business in the library, and I still haven't figured out whether it got delivered or not because, tried to email and said it was too big. Try, a couple other methods, which I did. So I don't know how we're going to do with that. We'll see. And there is the park. We're going to go around the corner, slide into the pavilion, and record our video all about your comments and reactions and thoughts. This is one of my favorite things to do. And we have arrived, and I'm going to switch cameras, go to my trusty Osmo Pocket 3, and here's the video. Well, as promised, here I am, and I've got the comments loaded up here. Boy, it seems my face is getting dark. Why is that happening? Well, here I am, and I'm in town in the park, and you can see the village behind me. And the first one is we drove the second Enchanted Circle and found its secret. That's part one of probably a 3 or 4 part series that Jack and I did with a real backcountry, beautiful drive that we're referring to as the second Enchanted Circle up here. Jay Mortimer, I mentioned this earlier in the video when I was on the bike. This is related to something I saw in a past video. New Mexico bicyclists do not have to come to a full stop at a stop sign if there's no traffic coming. They can treat it as a yield sign. Folks can look it up. And I was thrilled with that. I looked it up, and I found a website called sourcenm for newmexico.com. It says New Mexico to allow cyclists to roll through stop signs. Well, I don't have to worry about so that was just a message from a friend of mine. I'll silence this. So on that same video, Virginia Barnes says, "This is the content I'm here for. Started following you last year when you were in Eagle's Nest. Love everything New Mexico, especially northern New Mexico." Well, thank you, Virginia. On an older video, new to quartzsite desert camping, don't make this rookie mistake. Sherry Bain says, "How do you keep your tanks from freezing when living in an RV full time? Like 1 or 2 nights it dips into freezing temps, but out there in the winter and wanting to full-time RV in the next few years." There's a longer answer to this, but this is my answer. It's never been a problem for me because I don't live in that kind of climate. Also, I have tank heaters if needed. I've never used them. I mean, every once in a while it goes down to 30 degrees for a brief period of time in quartzsite in the winter, but that's really not cold enough. And sorry, the banging, because these picnic benches, if I lean back, the other end comes up. I almost fell over last year doing that. But I also have, like I said, tank heaters in my rig that I can turn on, and it keeps I've never had to use them though. If you are in a winter environment, look up other YouTubers that talk about how to winterize your RV. There's lots of things to consider, not just your tanks, but the pipes. You got to keep them. And if you're hooked up to city water, there are things that you can do there too. So hopefully that partially answers your question. On the road trip, William Wakefield says, "Go right at Cuesta for a few miles to enter the Rio Grande del Norte National Monument. Here, the Red River Gorge and Rio Grande Gorges merge at the river's confluence. Spectacular overlook." We did that. It's going to come in one of the parts. We actually did that at the end. Also, Naj says, "Wow, breathtaking views. Beautiful. Love the history lessons. Thanks for sharing this. Big hugs to Dottie and George." TCPLP nut. I don't know what that means. I bet it means something, though. Thanks for another nice video. While photographing the North American Nebula with my telescope, I enjoyed watching your footage of an area I hadn't visited. I'm excited for part 2. I appreciate the history and decided to pick up the audible version of Blood and Thunder. Thanks for the recommendation. I expect that Jack, any fisherman or outdoor enthusiast, will appreciate John Gierach's fly fishing books. They're wonderful tales of his adventures. I keep a copy of Death, Taxes, and Leaky Waiters in my camping kitchen box to always ensure I can enjoy his stories once again. Spending time in the wild. And I just saw another Nomadic Artist. This just came through just now. Nomadic Artist says amazing. Well, it's not on the same video. It's on a short I did today. Positive news. A man was pinned by a 700-pound boulder when his wife was with him, and she managed to get help out there, and he was rescued, and he ended up not having any injuries and released from the hospital. And she says, amazing. Nomadic Artist says, make sure you tell someone where you're going before you travel. Or, yeah, for sure. Let's see. This is another one on, I keep mentioning this because these comments keep coming up. This is a 2-year-old video. Renogy inverter fails to run a microwave. It was a mystery. It was a Sherlock Holmes worthy mystery as to why my microwave would not run with my Renogy 3,000 watt inverter. Right? And the microwave is like 1,200 watts. Well, I traced it down to a inexpensive Chinese breaker switch I was using. And I ended up, because I checked and replaced everything else. And that was the last thing, and that's what it was. The inexpensive breaker or fuse was restricting that high amperage flow that the inverter was demanding. And as soon as I got a T-type fuse, a properly sized T-type fuse, it solved that problem. And lots of people have that problem. And here's one, Russell Nugent says, brilliant, thanks so much for this. I pulled my hair out trying to solve this. I get those a few times a month. On 10 things you need to know before coming to quartzsite, Bob McCoy says water is not drinkable. And I replied, that's just not true, Bob. You may not like the taste of or the high sodium taste of the high sodium content, but it's totally drinkable. The BLM, Bureau of Land Management, checks water weekly, and I tested it personally myself with a test kit multiple times last year. It's totally safe to drink. And there are plenty of people that say they like the taste, but it is high in sodium for sure. Another comment on the Renogy inverter video says, thanks for watching your video. This is from 1963 Patto, P-A-T-T-O. Thanks to just watching your video, it solved the problem I had for ages. I had a 3,000 watt inverter, it would kick out. I bought a brand new 2,000 watt inverter. It done the same as soon as I got near about 800 watts. I just took out the kick out switch. What I had there was that was rated for 300 amps, must have been causing resistance. I baked the cables up. I don't know what that means. Beaked, B-E-K-E-D, maybe that's a typo. Put a 150 watt fuse off the battery. Happy days. Thanks, mate. You're welcome. This is another video that I did that was fairly popular. Why I'm slowing down on YouTube growth and I call it slow growth with big joy. Now, just to be clear, it didn't mean I'm going to slow down. My views are slowing down because of the broad nature of the videos that I do. You know, YouTube gives feedback and says, hey, if you want maximum growth, you need to keep your videos narrowly focused to your audience. And that's not going to be genuine for me. I'm going to keep doing the kind of videos that I really want to do, and I'm willing to pay the price of slower growth and losing some viewers. That's okay. And JDub2591 says, it's your channel to do whatever the hell you want. There are plenty of other channels for everyone else's interest. Opinions, well, are like I'm not going to say the word because everyone has one. And in the words of Ricky Nelson, you can't please everybody, so you got to go please yourself. You got to please yourself. On the, I'm going to pause for a second here. All right, sorry for the interruption. Still having problems sending those files I was talking about, but I think I got it this time. On back to the second Enchanted Circle video from me and my two RVs. Amazing video. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sue NCC's 1701. I know what that is. Everyone know what NCC 1701 is? That's the numbers for the original USS Enterprise, NCC 1701. Love the history, the commentary, the views. I fast forwarded through all the music though. Can you just keep talking instead? And I said, that's exactly why I put the timestamp there so people could do that. At the beginning, I have a stretch where I'm driving where there's just background music. So at the beginning of that, I put on the screen, hey, to skip this, go to this timestamp, scrub forward. And if you don't, a lot of people just like watching the scenery go by and listen to the music. So it's about half and half. Why I'm slowing down video. Edith says, enjoy the camera. If some people are looking for professional camera use, they can look up professionals. What would you tell other people? You know, you can't please all the people all the time. Are you feeling good about what you're doing? Good enough. Well, thank you. There's some replies in this one too. And I just said, well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's it. I'm not a professional camera guy. I'm a dude that, you know, talks to my gadgets. And I do minimal editing, as you well know. Rick says, Rob, I really appreciate the value of your content. I love the truthful and heartfelt way you express yourself. I haven't caught some of your latest videos because I'm interested in the home base idea, and I've been intensively rewatching those videos. Then my wife asked me, how long has Rob been doing these videos? And I was like, I don't know. So now I've been going way back to the beginning, watching all of those. Hopefully someday I'll catch up. I've actually technically been doing videos since 2008. And what you'll see is when I was EMS chief in Idaho, there are a few videos to do with that. And then I was I was actually a semi-professional videographer. I was doing like local business advertisements, things of that nature. But this content, the Travels with Dottie, I changed the name in December 1st, 2021. So that's how, so I've been doing it for about almost coming up on 4 years, this kind of content. But there's real old videos out there. You'll see a very different looking Rob if you go way back. So thank you, Rick Robe in Alaska. RV Life at 65, what no one warned me about. And that video has gotten 24,000 views. Now, just to put that into context for you, my channel, I am very satisfied and big smiles if I get a video that gets 1,000 views. That's my goal. This got 24 times that. So it really resonated with a lot of people. And Steve McFate says, my friend, you are losing your train of thought quite a bit here. Have you ever considered editing? You want to know what my response was? This is as nice as I could be. I said, no, please watch another channel. There are lots of them. And here's what's really funny. I said, well, you know, usually when people criticize my videos, I look, you know, you can check what's their channel. Do they have a channel? And it turns out he does have a channel that's 500 videos on it, and he's very active. And his videos usually get a couple hundred views. That's it. He had one viral video a couple of years ago, and it was when he was taking videos of bands in concert. So I'm not sure he's a great source. He's trying to say, if I do this, and you hear me do it a lot, I go, what was I just talking about? That's losing my train of thought. Over 65, we all do that. My audience, and so should he understand that, And it normalizes it when I show it. Why should I cut it out? Why should I be ingenuine and edit up a video to make it look like perfection in what I'm doing? It's why I don't do scripts. I don't plan ahead, and I keep mistakes in. And it's been successful for me. So there, Steve. Pete Diaz on the second Enchanted Circle. Pete Diaz says, if your friend Jack had a YouTube channel, it would be an instant hit. I agree. I think he should do it. But he's busy. He's a pretty busy guy. Pete Diaz also says this is one of his favorite videos by far. Des Y1 says, outdid yourself in this one. I bet drone views would be spectacular. Light and love, everyone. And Pete comes back again on the same video and says, your friend Jack is very interesting and knowledgeable person on the area. I can listen to his stories all day about the Old West history. And if you really want to do that, go to my playlist. That's the museum playlist. And every outing that we have from the museum starts at the museum with Jack doing a lecture with a PowerPoint. And then we get in a caravan and go out into the field. And there's several of those that I recorded this season. And so if you like listening to Jack and his encyclopedic knowledge of not only area, but of wildlife, he was a upper level sort of game warden guy in Pennsylvania in a past life. He's a very fascinating guy and a great presenter. So check out the museum playlist. I'm slowing down to YouTube. Traveling Girl says, I'm sorry you have to put up with rude people. Try to ignore them and move on. I know it hurts. It's so not fair. You are loved. What a nice thing to say. What a true nice thing to say. Try to ignore them, move on. She said she's sorry that's happening, and her advice is try to ignore them and move on. She doesn't issue commands here. She's making really valuable suggestions. I appreciate that. The second Enchanted Circle, Diana Bradley says, be careful, Rob. Your happiness is showing. Thank you so much for taking us along for the ride. Jack is a wealth of knowledge and information, true passion for the land and history of this rich area. I love the fact that you've gotten to stay a while and immerse yourself in the people and land in and around the lovely small town of Eagle Nest. The Enchanted Circle has so much beauty. Most get to spend a couple of days seeing the highlights of the area. We are truly blessed by your sharing your journey with us. Thank you. Well, wow. Thank you, Diana. Jim Mills on Slowing Down. Dear brother, be you and do you, whatever delights you. Your authenticity is what keeps me coming back for more. Oftentimes, I don't watch videos to the end if I get something relevant and helpful early and satisfying. Me too. That's how I watch videos. I don't watch every video, even my favorite channels. I don't watch the whole video. So don't feel like you have to watch the whole video or all the videos. If you don't like it, exit out of it. I tell the same, I'm a therapist. I'm a retired therapist, but I still do a small number of clients, 1 day a week, more like half a day. But I tell them all the same thing. Don't continue the session when you're out of things to say and you're bored, or we can do a short session. And I just code it differently. I get paid a little less, but who cares? And if you really feel like you don't have anything to say, cancel the session. We'll see each other in the next week. Do what feels right for you. And with that philosophy, my clients stick with me for a long time, generally. On the same video, Making My Own Lane says, I can't wait to do walk and talks again. It's just way too hot in Florida, I bet. Florida's brutal in the summer. I lived there for a couple of years. I agree that YouTube likes some of my content more than others, but I do want to share all parts of my RV life, good and bad, so I don't glorify this lifestyle. You do you, and that's what will keep attracting people to you. Again, really kind, nice, constructive advice that's not demanding. It's just suggesting. I like that. Ken says on the second Enchanted Circle, such lovely views. Did I explain that title? some of you may not know that. In the area that we're in it's Eagle Nest, the towns of Eagle Nest, Angel Fire, Taos, Cuesta, and Red River. You can drive a circle connecting all those towns. You can start in Eagle Nest, go to Angel Fire, through a mountain pass all the way to Taos, and then over to Cuesta, then up another pass to Red River, and then back down to Eagle Nest. And it's traditionally called the Enchanted Circle Drive, and it's very well known. Well, next to the Enchanted Circle Drive is a route that is on the other side of the mountains in a wilderness area. It's actually in national forest, but it's pure wilderness, gorgeous. So Jack and I and a friend of his, the three of us left at 7 o'clock in the morning and went to almost 6 o'clock at night going through that. And I had 5.5 hours of really great video of that trip. And I just released part 1 of that the other day. And I'll be working on part 2 later this afternoon. SWXO Raka Sout, whatever that means. Neato, I have a new drive to explore and camp. I've been to Latier Campground in Villa Costilla. I can't wait to make this run, and now I know the history of the region. Great video. By the way, I once drove from Angel Fire beyond Black Lake out to Guadalupita, and that was more narrow dirt roads to the forest pass. Epic as well. And me too, because in Guadalupita, right, is a state park, and it's, okay, I'm having a senior moment, and no, whoever, that guy, I even forgot your name that said I might want to think about editing. There is a state park up there that is my favorite state park, and Coyote Creek State Park. I've been there 2 summers in a row, and it's in Guadalupita. And if you want to, the closest place to maybe grocery shop and get gas and stuff is Angel Fire, and that drive is the way to get there, the drive that this person suggests. So I've done it many, many times, and you will see it this summer because I want to visit Guadalupita, and beyond Guadalupita is a little charming town called Mora that I just love, so I'm going to check that out too. This full-time RV life after 65. Linda says, I'm 60, lack of energy. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it happens. Let's see. Positive news number 600. What that means, it's my 600 consecutive positive news story, it's 600th day. It was on a young woman that at 18 years old, she was walking past a gas station that exploded, and she had 3rd-degree burns all over her body. And it was very dire looking. And she actually recovered, got married, has kids. It's a great little story, and it's been my most viewed positive news story since I did something on Kevin Bacon last year. The video that sort of brought up the thing where I did this video called Exploring the Coolest Art Booths at the Show. It was a show right here in this park, arts and crafts. And it's a big deal in this town, and I enjoyed doing it. And it didn't do well in terms of views. And I got a suggestion from the YouTube algorithm that said, you know, your viewers weren't very engaged with this video. You may want to look at what you did and not do that again. And all it's trying to do is encourage me to make content that have high views. They make more money, I make more money, but I'm not going to slow that part down. If there's something here in Eagle Nest or in Artesia or Quartzsite, the 3 places I live, that are of interest to the community, you bet I'm going to be there and I'm going to do it. And regardless of how popular it overall is, the people in the local area really appreciate the coverage. On the second Enchanted Circle, Ralph says, love the guided tour through those beautiful meadows. Jack is a walking encyclopedia. He certainly is. Looking forward to part 2. Robert Ballard, hey Rob, I think you missed your true calling. You should have been a tour guide. You and Jack have really renewed our interest in the West and its history. Such a beautiful country, and have a new level of appreciation for those who work to preserve it. Great job. You know, Dottie would love the ride and an occasional stop to leave her mark too. Well, I know in part one it didn't look like Dottie was there, but Dottie was there. And in a subsequent part, you're going to see Dottie bounding through the 10,000 acre meadow that's halfway through this trip. So Dottie was there. She was in the back seat, and she had a good day. She had a really good day. Carol McCarr says this is very beautiful scenery in New Mexico. I never knew it was like this. I always thought it was hot and desert. Everybody does. I think it's a place where I'd like to live, where you're camping this time. I'm anxious to see the rest of the videos you're doing with your friend Jack. He has so much knowledge of everything. It makes it really interesting, and I know you're really learning a lot from him. I absolutely am learning a lot from him. It's his knowledge pass on to me that's enabled me to volunteer at the museum and be the Saturday guy at the museum here in town. And if you're interested in more of Jack's content, go to my playlist called Museum Videos, and every one of them features Jack telling stories, doing a lecture, and leading us out into the field. There's a truck backing up. This is real life. Trucks back up in beef. There's just, all that's missing is like someone weed whacking or using one of those blowers in the park. Let's see. Nomadic Artist mentions that woman that was burned. Nomadic Artist says, thanks for posting. She's from Firestone, Colorado. She is much loved. I bet she is. I bet she is. Ellie Avia says, I enjoy your videos, but sometimes I don't watch all the way through because I don't have time, and I don't always have time to go back and watch. Keep up the great work you're doing. Some people will never have anything nice to say. And that's okay. You know, I put out hour videos. I don't expect everybody to take an hour of their time to watch my stuff. Are you kidding? If I watch an hour-long YouTube video, it must be pretty darn interesting. That's all I can say. So it's okay. Watch as much or as little as you like. And that banging, just to remind you, is every time I lean back, it comes off. If I went too far back, you'd see a viral video of me going over backwards and probably breaking something. Hey, Lisa, my buddy Lisa. Hey, Rob, Dottie, and George. You, Rob, sound happy. Makes me happy, too. Keep it up. Thanks, Lisa. Lisa's an old camping buddy. Barry and Sandra says, Rob, your videos are so inspirational, genuine. Growth will come organically to your channel, and you are creating something very special. That's cool. Thank you, Barry and Sandra. Des, love that you found your joy. Love and light, everyone. Bob Martin says, I'm almost 69 and I'm extra careful doing everything. As a sole boondoctor, I have to look after myself to stay out there and enjoy life. Not much fun if I get injured and sidelined. You bet. You got to be careful. Check out Sally Forth's channel to see what it's like when you have a simple misstep in this life. Sally just stepped in a gopher hole or something, and she's through it now, but it was rough. You should watch her videos on that and check out what happened with her. She tells the tale well. And I was with her during the recovery. And actually, it was the same time I was getting surgery on my hip, a hip replacement surgery. So it was rough. So she'll tell you, just like this guy, it's important to be really careful. Let's see. Nancy Monderos, does it mess you up that I watch your content in parts? I work a lot, so sometimes I can't watch all at once. Please let me know if it does. I can watch on my day off. No. You do what you do you. Watch as little or as much. I think I said something that maybe people got the wrong impression. I was talking about how YouTube works. And if they see too many people leaving the video early, the algorithm would decide this isn't really a popular video, so we're not going to send that out as to as many people. But if people are watching and staying for a long time, that's the way the algorithm works. But in order for that to be accurate, it has to be genuine. So, Nancy, you're doing your job. You're doing what you genuinely want to do, and that serves everyone, including me. TCPLP Nut, thank you for sharing another part of your journey. I've had some minor experience with the algorithm myself. They mean the YouTube algorithm. In my view, unless there's a financial need, it's not worth pursuing aggressively, and sharing content that truly resonates with you will have its own reward. And there's more, but I'm gonna stop there and just comment on that. That's exactly how I feel. Luckily, I'm not trying to make a living on YouTube. If I were trying to make a living, it might be different. You'd be doing things that, and you can see it on the bigger channels where their viewership falls off. They're doing more and more dramatic titles and things to get views because they rely on that income. Fortunately, I don't rely on the income at all. I'd still be doing it if the income was zero. They say it was about 10:30 p.m. Pacific time when I watched this video while photographing the heavens with my telescope. There are other things I could be doing while monitoring my current target, but I chose to watch this video because I appreciate your sincerity. I'm especially fond of these moments. Thanks for sharing. And he gives a couple of quotes from me. I've not been quoted before. It says, quote, 4 years since I retired and hit the road, that is by far is the best time of my life. I never thought that would be the case or I would be saying that. I'm doing all the Eagle Nest stuff because that's what I'm doing with my time. In being part of this community and feeling that grow, and the relationships I've developed are supercharging my happiness and joy. I'm documenting what I'm doing to maintain this amazing lifestyle that I'm so lucky to have found. I did say that. I forgot, but I did say that. I'm having these almost miracles happen in my life since I retired, almost through no absolute intent of my own. It's just happening, and I'm sharing it with you. I did say all that. I forgot I said that. And if I had planned it or done a script, those words, I never would have found those words. That was totally organic. Wendy says, Rob, you're my number one fave content creator. Look forward to seeing your daily adventures wherever they may be. You definitely encourage me and give me hope that one day I can get out there and create my own adventures. Keep doing you and ignore the jealous trolls. Let's see. I know if I'm skipping one of your comments, it's nothing personal. I'm right now at the moment. What's going on in my head is I'm getting a little uncomfortable with the real compliments, and I don't want the video to be about the people that are just giving me compliments. So I'm skipping some. Greg Yao says, I think Greg is the singer from Austin who's going to be in Angel Fire this month in August. He says, when I write a song, the best ones are the ones that are very, very specific to my situation. People tune in because they want to know what your life is like. Just give that to them. See you soon, sir. So let me comment on that. My two nephews, Casey and Sam, my sister Margaret's boys, are in a band that younger people know pretty well. They're called the X Ambassadors. And Sam is sort of the face man for the band. And he is the lead singer for sure and composer. He composes many of the songs. And there's a song that was, I believe it went platinum, called Unsteady. And you can look it up if you want. Unsteady, X Ambassadors. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. And it became a hit for them. And he tells the story of writing that song. He was stuck trying to find a way to write a good song, and he was given some advice, and here was the advice. Sam, write about something from your past that really was impactful to you emotionally. Write about it. And the first thing that came to his head is his parents, my sister and my brother-in-law, getting a divorce when he was a teenager. And he said, "Okay, write about that, Sam." And Sam resisted and says, "Who wants to hear a song about some guy's parents getting divorced?" He said, and he wrote it, and he wrote it from his heart. And that song is about the teenage child's perspective in the heartbreak of experiencing divorce. And because it was real and sorry, this is my family. I didn't expect to get that emotional, but it's a wonderful song. And just to these days, everyone gets along. My sister and my brother-in-law, who also is named Rob, got remarried, and we're all still close, and all is forgiven from that very difficult time for my sister's family and my nephews and my brother-in-law. It was tough. Divorce is tough on everyone involved, but he's so right that when you write about what's real for you, or you talk about what's real for you, people connect to that. Oh, Sally Forth said, "Thanks for the mention, Rob. I just told you about her hurting herself." She said, "Thanks for the mention, Rob. Mostly healed. I'd say about 98%. I realized that I'm about a week short of 6 months since I broke my foot. The ligament tendon damage to the ankle is still a bit painful with exercise, but I'm hopeful that will pass in time. My take on content for YouTube is if it doesn't fuel me, it ultimately doesn't fuel my channel. Keep what you're doing. Keep doing what makes you happy." Let's see. Al Schultz says, "Buku." I haven't heard that in years. I don't remember the context, but buku means a lot. And he says, that goes back to Vietnam years. What makes you feel good, that's what matters. And I guess buku does. I think maybe it's a derivative of a Vietnamese word. I'm not sure. Ken, you're assigned. Julie Butler thinks a lot of people are out and about in summer. Friends might have called me less in the summer. Might just be a slow time of year. And actually, she's right. Summer for many channels is a slow time of year. People are not generally as much in the winter and fall huddling down and watching YouTube videos as much in the summer, because you can be out on a day like this, like I am right now. Lori says, "I'm a newbie and really enjoy your channel. I've longed for the freedom of being a nomad and appreciate you're doing it in my age range and enjoy it." Yo. Senior citizens, I never thought it would be this great. I never thought that I would be in a life at 65 years old that I am totally charged and energized with and love as much as I do. I never suspected this was even possible. Let's see. The slowing down. Ron Scheckler says, "This video kind of hit home for me as I'm 60 and newly retired. I worked hard all my life, routinely working 50 to 60 hours a week. I decided to retire early and pursue my dream of seeing this great country of ours. Just like you, I want to build a life filled with joy, connection, and adventure. I became a fan of your channel because of your lifestyle. I enjoy craft fairs, flea markets, and county fairs. I dream of boondocking in the middle of nowhere and visiting small towns. I'm a solo traveler and look forward to building friendships along the way. No timeline, no agenda, just making myself happy and satisfied in retirement. Thank you for your content and the guidance it has given me. I truly admire you for chasing what's important and fulfilling for you." Thanks, Ron. And I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Gary says, "I love your adventurous, youthful spirit that strives continuously to live life to the fullest. You keep doing you and embracing all that brings you joy. Life is too precious to sacrifice for a fleeting moment that satisfies others at your own personal expense of true fulfillment." That Motomem says, I am 70 years old watching what you do and extremely envious of what you're doing. I believe I do understand what you're doing. Keep on doing it. I have every intention to pull an A-frame all over northern New Mexico in the near future. Go for it. 70's not a barrier. Adapt. If you need to, adapt, overcome, adapt. Find your joy. Barb is another camping mate. Hello, Barb Connor. Rob, continue to stay true to yourself and we'll come along with you. Seeing older people doing this lifestyle is encouraging. You make it fun and doable at any age. And Barb embraces that like few people that I know, and she's in her 70s. So Tommy says, you do you, my friend. You inspire people. I'm glad you enjoyed life so much. I hope when I get out that way, I can find as much enjoyment as you do. I now have the truck and camper. I'll still be local while I care for my mom. I can't wait to watch you settle in more and go fishing. Van life, me now. Explore the coolest art booth. He says, I know how tedious editing 360 footage is. You did a great job with it. I'm impressed. Thank you. That new camera, oh boy, it's hard to edit. I'm getting better and better, slowly but surely. Shauna Lee Lang says, Rob, we just went through the college admission process. There's a saying, love the school that loves you back. Eagle's Nest has definitely loved you back and opened their doors. You found something special, and that's all that should matter. For me, the channel is valuable in weighing the pros and cons of in-place versus on the road for the over 60 crowd. And I'm kind of a hybrid of that, right? There are plenty of people like Sally Forth and Barb, the two friends that I've mentioned here, who they just hop around a lot. Now, Barb stayed most of the season in Quartzsite, but Sally's a hopper. She loves, it's in her heart, in her soul to keep moving, and that's what she does. Me, 3 places right now. Artesia, 1, Eagle Nest, New Mexico 3, and Quartzsite, 3 places. So I'm relocating 3 times a year. So it's kind of a hybrid. I stay in one place a few months at a time. All right. Van Lifey Now also says, I experienced tremendous growth in my channel for 5 or 6 months, and then it fell off. My revenue and views, let me give you some context. His YouTube channel is more than double my size, and he gets views on his videos that I'm very envious of. He does a great job. My revenue and views were cut in half. Just keep making the videos you want to make, and don't get too concerned with the analytics. I've been watching you for years now. Always enjoy your videos. I love Eagle's Nest. I drove through there 2 years ago and fell in love with the area. And I said, thanks. It means a lot coming from you. And I really mean that he's got he speaks with direct knowledge of the kind of success that would be really nice to have. And he does it in this very genuine way and doesn't get freaked out when people start walking away, because I think that he had faith that the people that are really interested in what he had and what he's presenting, they'll find you. And he was clearly right. What a great channel he's got. And let's see what it's VANLIFEMEOW. Let's make sure I got that right. Let's pull up his channel here. Yeah, it's VANLIFEMEOW. He has 24,000 subscribers, almost 3 times what I have. Let's see, let's just a sampling look at his videos. A day ago, hoses and coolant flush for a Chevy or GMC van. That's pretty specialized, isn't it? And he's filming what he's doing in life. You know how many views he got in one day? 5,900. How to sand a Chevy van? 5,400. Steering linkage and finishing the box van chassis. 11,000 views. Look at this guy. Go, go, go. I just love it. When I get advice from people like that It supercharges my attitude that if he can do it, I can do it too. Um, let's see. Sue's got to go. On a normal day when I log on to YouTube, your channel and Amanda's are first to be offered. I never saw the craft show video. I never popped up. It's your soothing tone and energy that keep me um, watching daily. No drama, no clickbait, no music to challenge my hearing, just intelligent, thoughtful, respectful content. Thanks again. And when she says Amanda, Adventuring with Amanda, and she has a great channel, and I know her. She's a friend. I can't say we're real close friends, but we certainly know each other in person. And I met her in Quartzsite in my first year. I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers yet. And I went to like a campfire bonfire at a place called the Lit Cactus in Quartzsite, sort of a funky camp. And someone said, "Hey, have you met Adventuring with Amanda?" And this very attractive young woman was sitting there, and she's, oh God, she's 30 years younger than I am. But she's just a delightful person. She travels in a minivan, and she makes it a beautiful, exciting thing. And check out her channel. We're going too long here, but anyway, I want to end things here, and I'm sorry I couldn't read everybody's comments, but you could tell how much fun I have doing these videos, and it's wonderful. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments, and I'll see you on the next one just tomorrow. Bye. At home here. But I'm going to sort of buzz through the village a little bit, just because I can. And I'm not going to be saying much of consequence after this. I'm just going to ride around a little, and feel free to sign off here, and I'll when I did my sign off just a minute ago, I didn't think I was going to film anymore, but I decided to anyway. There's Angel Attic is open today. A really amazing thrift store right over there. And it's raining a little bit. I got some raindrops keep falling on my head. And that doesn't mean my eyes will that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. I don't know. Did I get those lyrics right? I don't think so. So this is Rocky's Market and the United States Post Office. And right in front of me here is Cowboys Cafe. And it's not open. It's been closed for a while. I think I'm going to suspect that the person that owns it is living there, but it's not open. But why do I point it out? Well, here's why I point it out. It's because one of my favorite series, Longmire, there was an episode where Walt and Vic were transporting a prisoner to meet up with some U.S. marshals to turn the prisoner over to them. And they did so at Cowboys Cafe, and it was shot right there in the parking lot, and with the sign and everything. So that's pretty cool. That's neat stuff. I do not need to stop at stop signs anymore, as long as I'm safe, right? See Epic Bites over there on the right with the smash burgers is open. And I thought about maybe I'll go to Epic Bikes and buy a smash burger. But no, I bought a bunch of salads yesterday at Smith's in Taos. And I need to eat those salads. So that's what I'm going to do now. We're going to go home and I'm going to eat my salad. I'm going to zip through here. The Laguna Vista Lodge has vacancies. And here's the saloon on the right here. And we're going to kind of go the back way home up here, which I haven't done in a while. And we're going to Dos Amigos fishing shop and Eagle Nest Feather Trading Post. Those are father and son businesses. And there's a dog saying hi. And guess what? Another stop sign that I do not have to stop at. Hello. Joy, joy, joy. And I'm looking out at the beautiful lake at the end of the road here. I hope you can see it the way I'm seeing it right now. We kind of got our afternoon showers coming in. It's about 1 o'clock. We just passed the Eagle Nest Baptist Church. And that was the elementary and middle school we just passed. And I got to go past another stop sign. And I'm so grateful for that woman pointing out that legally I don't have to stop on my bike. And it makes no sense. Like, look where I am. There's no car anywhere near me. Yeah, they're working on this road. So we're not going to go down there. It looks pretty bumpy. So we'll hop back up on Highway 64. Here's a lone puppy dog walking down the street. Hey, puppy. Hey, puppy dog. How are you? Hey, pup. So up here on the right, there's a sign that says dead end. But you know what? For me on my bike, the end is not dead. I can bust through here and get to the highway and go like probably 1/8 of a mile to get home. Did you see that little prairie dog disappear in a hole in the middle of the road? He just stuck his head out. Going, what is that dude doing? There's another hole. All right, we're going to go up on this road here for a very short distance. We'll monitor the traffic behind me on the mirror. And for those of you that worry about me, I'm being on Highway 64 for short distances, here's my practice. I'm riding now and I'm keeping an eye on my rear view mirror. And I track if there's any vehicle coming. If they don't start moving to the other side of the highway to avoid me, I just pull off to the side here and stop the bike and wait for them to go by. But most of the time, no vehicles. And there's not going to be, I'm going to be at my turn here in probably 20 seconds. And I see a vehicle headlights way back there. They're not going to ever catch up to me because I'm about to turn right up here at Weathers RV Park. There's the beautiful lake. I see at least 3, 4 boats out there today. I'm almost certain they're fishing. The last, I think they put fish in there weekly, and a couple of weeks ago I saw on the website it was 22,000 fish. That's a lot of fish. And we made it back home. So now the video is really over.